Hello, dear ones. Father Peter John coming to you from All Saints Orthodox Church in Bloomington, Indiana. Christ is in our midst. I'm going to talk today about a very special human being. He's one of our relatively modern saints. His name is Cosmas the Aitolian. He is equal to the apostles. That is his title. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about his life. Cosmas grew up in Greece in a time when it was under Turkish occupation. The Muslims were in charge, and the spiritual life of Christians in Greece was really suffering terribly. Cosmas went as a young man to Mount Athos, where he was educated, and ultimately stayed, became a monk, was ordained a priest eventually, therefore a hieromonk, and he lived a life there of prayer, fasting, asceticism, continued learning, always learning about Christ and the church and the scriptures, etc. Well, something happened to him. In his early 40s, he had some kind of an awakening, a calling by God, like an anointing kind of. And he received a blessing to go to Constantinople. He received further training there in rhetoric. He wanted to truly know how to communicate the gospel of Christ clearly and concisely, to let people know exactly what he was trying to say. So he became a master rhetorician and received then the blessing from the Patriarch of Constantinople, carte blanche, to go and preach the gospel anywhere in Greece where the gospel needed to be preached. He received a letter that basically said he can go anywhere and preach. So that's what he did. He would go into these villages. He would begin talking with people about Christ. People knew he was something special. They started calling him the new apostle. He was very humble. He was very soft-spoken. He was a great communicator. And people, it began to be a revival, a 20-year revival. That's what this man did for 20 years. He would go from village to village. They would plant a cross in the center of the village. There would be a liturgy served with the local priest or priests. And in some cases, thousands of people would come for these outdoor liturgies and to hear the gospel preached and proclaimed in the open air. Now, obviously, if you heard the first part of the video, you know they were under Turkish occupation. The Muslims were in charge, and the Muslims could not stand what was happening. They could see that there was this Christian spiritual revival happening in the country, and they had to find this Cosmas. He kept eluding them. He started, during his 20 years of preaching, 200 underground Orthodox Christian schools. Awesome. He led a spiritual revival by the grace of God and the work of the Holy Spirit in Greece. And it was just really an amazing transformation that took place. The rich who heard him speak began to donate money to the poor and to his cause so that he could buy supplies to give to those who needed them. He bought crosses and prayer ropes, head coverings, and baptismal fonts, and he distributed them around the country where they were needed and as they were needed. Just an awesome man. But he did this knowing full well that he was going to face great opposition from the evil one, that he was putting his life on the line, doing something that those who were in charge would not approve of. And eventually, the Turkish authorities caught up with him, and he was martyred when he was 65 years old, after spending 20 years spreading the gospel in this land that had just been starving to hear it proclaimed freshly. It's just an awesome story. Immediately after his martyrdom, icons began to be painted of him. Churches were built in his honor. I mean, people knew that he was a saint, and they honored him as such. He was officially recognized as a saint by the Orthodox Church in 1961. This is Saint Cosmas the Aitolian, the equal to the apostles. What an awesome example he is for us. What an awesome saint for our time. May we have this same boldness, the same courage, the same resolve to preach the gospel at all times through our words and through our love of our neighbor, through our actions of caring for the poor, in living a life that is worthy of being called a Christian. Christ is in our midst. He is and ever shall be.